Have you ever wondered why people break the rules? I mean, from a little white lie all the way to a major heist, rule breaking is just a fundamental part of the human story. But did you know there's a whole science dedicated to figuring that out? Well, today, we're diving deep into the fascinating field of criminology.
Okay, so first things first, let's tackle a question that really gets to the heart of all this. What's the real difference between just breaking a rule and actually committing a crime? You might think the answer is obvious, but it's actually not so simple, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Before we can even get into crime, we got to talk about the rules we all live by. Think of it like the invisible architecture of our society. It's what guides our behavior every single day, and a lot of the time, we don't even realize it's there. Now, this architecture is basically built on two key things: values and norms. Here's the easiest way to think about it. Values are the big, kind of abstract ideas. What a society decides is good or bad, right or wrong. Norms, on the other hand, are the specific, nitty-gritty rules for how to behave. They're how we actually put those big values into action. Here's a perfect example. We all pretty much agree that honesty is a good thing, right? That's a value. Now, the specific expectation that students shouldn't cheat on an exam, that is a norm. It's a clear rule that comes directly from that value of honesty. Okay, so we've got the rules down, but what happens when somebody breaks them? This is where we get into the whole idea of deviance. So, deviance in a nutshell is just any behavior that violates those social norms we were just talking about. And notice, the definition doesn't just say breaks the law. It's way broader than that. It's about going against social expectations in a way that most people in that society would really disapprove of. Which leads to a really interesting question, right? Is breaking a rule or being deviant always a bad thing? Is it always wrong? Well, the answer is it's all about context. Check out this powerful example. The act is the same, killing another person. But in one case, it's a horrific crime, and the person faces arrest. In the other, that same person might be called a hero. The only thing that changes is the situation. This shows us that deviance isn't really in the act itself. It's all about how society defines it. All right, so now that we have this foundation, we understand norms, values, and how deviance is all about context, we can finally properly define the field that studies all of this stuff: criminology. You know, the word itself kind of tells you everything you need to know. It comes from the Latin word crimen, which means accusation, and the Greek logia, for the study of. So it's literally the study of crime. But it's so much more than that. It's the scientific study of why crime happens, how we as a society react to it, and crucially, how we can try to prevent it. And here's what's so cool about it. It's not just one single subject. Criminology is like this awesome mashup. It pulls in tools and ideas from sociology, psychology, economics, even biology and statistics, all to get the most complete picture of criminal behavior possible. I mean, criminologists look at everything. They're asking questions like, how often do certain crimes happen and where? What really causes someone to commit a crime? What are the different types, and what are the ripple effects for individuals, for society, and how do governments respond? It's this huge, fascinating field of inquiry. So this brings us to the people who actually do this work. And when you hear the word criminologist, you might picture, a detective from a TV show at a crime scene. But their job is actually way broader and much more analytical than that. When it comes right down to it, a criminologist's mission goes way beyond solving just one crime. Their main goal is to figure out the big why. Why do people commit illegal acts in the first place? Is it about poverty, social pressures? They're trying to find evidence-based answers so we can prevent crime from ever happening. And they do this using a really rigorous scientific method. It's not just guesswork. Step 1, they observe and collect tons of data. Step 2, they analyze all that evidence, looking for patterns. From there, they build theories to explain what they're seeing, and the final step, and this is absolutely crucial, is using all that research to inform real-world policy and prevention. So, for example, if their data shows a big spike in robberies near dimly lit bus stops, their work could actually lead to a new policy for better street lighting. See? That's turning theory into action. As you can imagine, this kind of work takes a pretty unique set of skills. You've got to be a super sharp observer, a logical thinker, have amazing research skills, and be a great problem solver. And of course, you have to be able to communicate what you find clearly. So, why should you care about all this? Why does it matter? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. Criminology is fundamental to building safer communities for every single one of us.
I mean, just think about it. Our world is changing so rapidly. Technology, the way we communicate, our economies, everything is constantly shifting.
And as our world changes, guess what? So does crime. The challenges we're facing today are totally different from the ones we faced even 20 or 30 years ago.
Just look at the kind of stuff we're up against today. We're dealing with incredibly sophisticated financial scams, massive cybercrime operations, terrorism, and even new high-tech twists on old crimes like car theft. These are complex, modern problems, and they need a modern approach.
And that's exactly where criminology comes in. It's so essential because it gives us the scientific, evidence-based tools we need to understand these new threats and to adapt our strategies to keep people safe. You could say it's our best defense against whatever challenges are coming next.
Which really leaves us with one last big question to chew on. As our society keeps evolving, as technology completely reshapes our lives, how are our very definitions of what we even consider a crime or deviant behavior, how are those going to have to change right along with it?